So today I'm going to talk about a topic that really makes my blood boil, and that is this whole everybody deserves equality thing that seems to be going on right now. Governments, especially in Europe and the US, keep citing this income inequality. We need to fix the problem of income inequality. Listen, not everybody's meant to be equal. If you want a better life, go out and earn it. You're not entitled to a better life, right? Like, you're not supposed to have a nice life just because you were born, right? I mean, with all this income inequality stuff, they're basically saying that everybody's supposed to have a base level nice life just because they were born. That's bullshit. If you want, you go out and you work and you earn whatever your life, whatever kind of life that you want. The problem with that is that's not how you win elections in a democracy, right? The way you win elections is by straight up bribery, which is what Joe Biden did. So in his whole campaign, he kept saying the taxes needed to be raised on the rich and on corporations. Why? Because they're the minority. He doesn't give a shit about equality. What he cares about is getting the masses who feel that they deserve more to vote for him. So what he did is he went out and he said, hey, average Americans, the masses, there's injustice going on. You have unequal wealth. And if you elect me, I'm going to improve your life just because you elected me. You don't have to do anything more. You don't have to produce anymore. You don't have to work any harder. You don't have to innovate anymore. You just keep being you. Elect me and I'm going to improve your life, because these bastard wealthy people and corporations, they're unequally rich, and I'm going to take from them and I'm going to give it to you. As you can hear, I'm a little bit passionate about this. So now that he's in office, he wants to deliver on his campaign promise. And the way he's going to do that is raising taxes on corporations and businesses. And he doesn't seem to care that this is going to crush the US economy. It doesn't matter whether you like Donald Trump or not. It is absolutely indisputable that his tax cuts jump-started the US economy. I mean, the US economy was on fire for quite some time up until COVID. I mean, since I've been in the international tax business, I've mostly seen people and companies trying to get out of America because the taxes were too high. After Trump's tax cuts was the first time in my life where I've seen businesses and people trying to go to America, right? And this was largely due to the corporate tax cut, taking the corporate tax rate from 35 to 21%, the pass-through deduction, lowering the personal corporate income tax rate, raising the threshold, the tax threshold at which the top marginal tax rate kicks in, and we saw the effects of the economy. I mean, I saw the effects on the businesses of my clients. Everything went up. Everybody benefited. You can tell by the unemployment rate that was in place. But Biden seems to believe that by charging everybody a bunch more tax, this isn't going to somehow have a negative impact or impact US competitiveness globally. I mean, let's just talk about some of the proposals that he wants to do. So he wants to raise the corporate tax rate from 21%, which is one of the lowest corporate tax rates anywhere in the developed world, to 28%, which is on the higher spectrum of what's normal in other developed countries with developed tax codes. So that's definitely going to kill competitiveness, right? Because if I'm going to start a new business, I'm going to go to where the tax rate's lower, which is not going to be the US. He wants to pare back the pass-through deduction, which is basically this deduction that certain people can get on self-employment income and pass-through companies. It's going to have some impact, but I don't think it's going to be as negative as an impact as the corporate tax rate. Then he wants to increase the marginal corporate tax rate to 39.6% on people making over 400K. That might not be such a big deal. But he wants to lower the estate tax threshold to 3.5 million from the 11.58 or whatever it is now, which is going to really negatively impact people with some wealth. And a lot of people's wealth is in real estate and is illiquid, which means that people are going to have to sell stuff in order to pay the estate tax. Which brings me to the next thing. He wants to raise capital gains, right? So anybody with an income over $1 million is going to pay ordinary income tax rate, so 39.6% on capital gains. So this is like a double whammy, right? So if you need to pay estate tax on your estate over 3.5 million, you're going to have to sell stuff to raise $1 million, over $1 million, to pay the estate tax. Now your income's over $1 million. So now you have to pay 39.6% income tax on the gain that you had to recognize in order to pay your estate tax. It's absurd that they think that this is not going to absolutely kill the US economy. So, what do we do? If you have money, you are a target, and it is only going to get worse in the United States. It's not going to get better. People need to really start thinking about doing some very significant wealth planning. And for people who have ever considered expatriating or moving some of their assets overseas to help protect them and shield them, now's the time. Things are not going to get better in the US. I'm seeing a lot of my clients are already seeking second citizenships, or if they have second citizenships, they're thinking about expatriating. I'm seeing a lot of green card holders give up their green cards. I'm seeing a lot of wealth leave the United States, and for good reason. And so the purpose of this video was just simply to rant a little bit about this whole inequality nonsense, but also as a warning that people with money are under attack, right? And they try to claim that this is against the wealthy, but they're classifying wealthy people as people who make more than $400,000. I mean, that's hardly wealthy. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's barely rich. So it's time to put a plan in place to make sure you, your family, and your assets are protected. And that includes potentially leaving the United States if that's something that you're considering. Now's the time. Anyway, that's my public service announcement for today. Thanks for listening.